Welcome one, welcome all, welcome back to Wi-Fi's tournament of Gamekeys. We are going to continue this evening with another semi-finals from that very same tournament. This time it's going to be OMGPOP who will be taking on Barton. Same map, same faction, same two factions, Austria versus Soviets on Longreskaya. And with me from RNP is Pounder. What's up, Pounder?
How's it going, Fatal?
How's it going? Thanks for last night. That was a blast, and I heard and read somewhere that you and Rogers went on for like 8 hours.
Yeah, 7 or 8 hours. That's about how it was.
I would have gotten a stroke, I believe, if I continued for that long. We casted for 6.5 hours, and I kind of wanted to kill myself after that.
Yeah, pretty close.
Pretty close, pretty close. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure if you managed to see anything of the last semifinals between Siberian and Increase, which led to a win 2-1 to Siberian. So he advances into the finals, and he will be taking on either OMGPOP or Barton, whoever wins this semifinals right now. And game one of that series was properly epic. So let's see if OMGPOP and Barton can actually deliver some good games as well. But without further ado, we're at the 5-second mark. You ready to go, Pounder?
Absolutely.
Let's unpause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So let's see if Barton can pull it off as the Soviets and actually wrangle a win out of this tournament as Soviets right now in the semifinals, because we have seen right now, I believe, 3 Axis victories in the other semifinals between Siberian and Increase.
Yeah, the Axis seem to be pretty strong in the tournament right now, in this patch at least. That's what it seems to be. It seems to sort of favor the Axis.
Yeah, I think it swung a bit, because before I believe that everybody went, I can't counter Su-85s, what do I do? And, what do I do against Soviet snipers? And, oh my god, there's conscripts everywhere. Now all of a sudden it's like there's MGs and P4s everywhere, what do I do?
Yeah, I know. The metagame has changed quite a bit. Unfortunately, we still don't see Stugs being absolutely viable, but whatever.
I think one game that me and Rogers casted yesterday on the RMP Twitch channel, I think the first one we casted, one of the round 1 games which were played on Moscow outskirts summer, had Stubbs. But that led to the German player actually losing. so I guess they're still not viable. That didn't work. That did not work.
Yeah, this was poor Stugs. They can't handle anything.
Very aggressive move from Barton with his first initial combat engineers. He didn't grab any territories, he didn't cap anything, he just went straight for that building. So now it's building wars between these two builder units. Pioneers from OMGPOP versus combat engineers from Barton.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot in this tournament too. Everybody goes for these two buildings, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I mean, unless you put a machine gun in there, you could cap that middle VP or middle munitions point without really any damage whatsoever.
They can still just hang out at the green cover tractor there, parked in that munitions point, and just cap under fire. It doesn't really matter, because both buildings basically only have 2 windows on that side. I think the one on the right-hand side has 3 windows that are fired out from, and the other building has 2 windows and a door, so, it's not really that much DPS coming out of those buildings.
Yeah. And it's right now it's engineers and pioneers. It's not really.
It's not really doing anything.
Gun. Okay, well that'll change the game a little bit here.
Still buildings being basically titanium steel reinforced in Competitive Heroes 2, so I think this engagement could be quite lengthy. But right now, Barton just going for the juggler. He's just going for the cutoff outside of the German base. But there's an MG.
He immediately pushed straight forward. I mean, Barton doesn't really seem to care about fuel in any game that I've seen him play in.
Oh yeah, we casted a Barton series yesterday. I can't remember against who, but it was basically the same thing. It's like, I don't need no fuel. I don't care about fuel.
He doesn't care. Either faction. I mean, it doesn't matter. Either faction. And I tend to find that Soviets are a little more fuel dependent to get their tanks out as fast as possible. And he just doesn't care. He's just like, conscripts, yeah, maybe some penals. And he
he went for penals. He went tier 1, got like an M3 sniper and penals and stuff, and just ran around trolling the field. And then when he played at the Germans, there was grenadiers everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and now he's building tier 1 right now. So he might.
Is he gonna troll us with P-Nulls again, seriously?
Oh my god, I really hope he does, because that was just bizarre, but it worked. So it was, oh. God, I love that kind of play. Totally
We get a
reminds me of
nice
Code
flank off on the MG on the left-hand side. He uses Ura on one of his conscript squads, gets right behind it, and he was trying to catch one other conscript squad at this fuel point on the left-hand side. But that prompts an instant retreat from the MG. OMGPOP is not going to hang around just for a lengthy engagement with his MG42, just taking damage over and over again, not being able to being set up properly as that conscript squad was basically standing right on top of him.
Yeah. That was a really good flank. I mean, MG42s, they are kind of a problem right now. In this patch, it's pretty obvious their strengths.
Yeah,
And they're pretty hard to deal with.
4 men, very, very healthy. Can take quite a lot of damage from conscripts before going down, or even being in proper danger. So you have plenty of time to retreat. MG42s, and we do have 4 tier 1 opening for OMGPOP, so very, very standard right now. 2 Grants, 2 MGs. What do we have from Barton so far?
Well, he popped out a clown car. He's got, or an M3, and he's got a combat engineer. He's got 2 combat engineer squads and 3 conscripts, and he's got 1 combat squad with flamethrower, probably popping into this M3 with a little bit of drive-by flaming in the future.
Drive-bys with M3s and flamethrowers. Barton, once again, going for the cutoff. Gonna cut off all of those sweet resources from the right-hand side away from OMGPOP, because he has both the munitions points, 3 strategic points, and the fuel on the right-hand side, but he's not getting anything from it whatsoever as long as Barton just keeps harassing his cutoff now. And here comes the M3 onto the field against these 2 MGs. Where are the Grenadiers? In the center, catching the VP. Not going to be enough. Overlapping MGs, however. Yeah, Barton doesn't fancy it. He knows the Grants are there somewhere. He doesn't want to get Fausted and lose his M3 instantly.
Yeah. But as we saw
damage
before, he's really good at getting his units out of vehicles in danger. Like, he's good at keeping things alive.
Yeah, very good unit persistency from Barton. The survival, he just preserves all of his troops.
Yeah. I mean, just really well, so. But unfortunately, the scout car might, change the game up a little bit. He is building another M3, and against his scout car with the upgraded 20mm barrel, that's going to be dangerous. OMG's really being aggressive in the center here.
Yeah, OMG knows that he can push now with his scout car and half track both on the field. He can reinforce in the field from that half track. He has the upgun 2cm autocannon on that scout car, so he can deal with the M3s very reliably. So now he's just going for Barton's cutoff instead. Yeah. So tables have turned, and all of a sudden Barton finds himself without any of the resources on the left-hand side of the map. Yeah,
it's all cut off. It's gone, but he's got tons of manpower. I mean, I don't know what... No, I know what he's doing. He's gonna put... Yeah, he's using both M3s with flames. That's what he's gonna do.
Double M3s. Do we have a commander's choice? Does he have guards available? For example, he needs some form of AT against these vehicles, I think.
He does, but he doesn't have any CP. Not quite yet. Oh God,
there hasn't really been that many engagements. Barton has basically just been staying away. He's been harassing territories, but not really engaging in combat against OMGPOP's Germans. So I guess he hasn't gotten much XP.
Yeah, that's very true. It's primarily just been a harassment game so far. Finally seeing some pretty decent engagement here.
Well, Barton kind of needs to fight right now. He wants his cutoff back, and desperately, because right now he has 1 strategic point, so I'm guessing that his income is quite poor right now.
Yeah, plus 11, plus 7 respectively in munitions and fuel. So.
Yeah, that's nothing. Nothing. But he has his double M3s right now, and the German scout car can't be everywhere, so if he splits them up, it seems to be going 1 for the left and 1 for the right. So if he splits them up, he's going to have to choose his target, and maybe he can just stay away from it with the other car and deal as much damage as possible. But he's actually not going to do that. He seems to be sending everything over to the left-hand side now.
Yeah, and he just called in a 120 mortar and some guards.
Ooh, did he float that much manpower?
Oh yeah, he was floating about 800.
Oh wow. Instant, so he was basically just waiting for his 1 CP, I guess.
Yeah, basically. great.
OMGPOP has added on to his tier 1 with additional 2 grenadiers, so now he's up to 4 grens, 2 MGs. He actually got a mortar as well, and these 2 vehicles from tier 2.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah,
this conscript is in trouble. This conscript is in extreme trouble right now, down to 1 man, and it seems that Barton just sacrificed that unit.
He might have. I mean, they were all focusing on it.
Yeah,
Whoa.
no point in retreating, maybe, I don't know. That's the 120mm mortar just opening up on the MG, I believe. He got a nice hit on it. Oh, wow. There goes the M3.
Oh.
Wow! Did it just kill? The explosion killed 5 out of 6 crew members from that guard squad.
Oh my god.
That was brutal. That's going to cost Barton quite a lot of manpower. Good thing he was floating before.
Yeah, that was really painful. I don't think he was expecting to die that quickly, though.
He almost had that scout car as well. It was so low health from getting barraged by the 120mm mortar and getting shot by the PTRS rifles as well. So he just wanted that kill, but he didn't get it. So that's going to set Barton back quite a lot, especially with losing not only the M3, but 5 out of 6 guards as well.
Yeah, he's really got to sort of pay attention to his manpower right now. Yeah, he's not going to be able to call another one in. He's got to keep that thing alive just to kill this stupid scout car.
Well, with Vet 2, it takes less damage, and the PTRS rifles doesn't really dish that much damage, you know, from initially either way. Whoa, that was a nice hit on that building at the Flamming River. That took that out.
Ooh, yeah.
Just dead conscripts everywhere. Dead conscripts suddenly just pop out of the building after being been laying in there for quite a while.
And we do have another 120 mortar called in.
What's happening? Barton, what are you doing?
I have no idea. I think he's just going to saturate this with mortar, basically. He's going to destroy everything over here on the left.
Well, one 120mm mortar, if they get, you know, nice hits, they do a ton of damage. The problem is getting the hits, because the scatter is quite large and the reload is quite long. But if you actually get the hits in, it's going to do a ton of damage. And as long as he can dislodge this base pin, he still has a fighting chance, because he has actually retained the left-hand side DP in his possession. So he's not really down that many DPs compared to OMGPOP.
Why does he have the strategic point up by OMG's base?
I don't know.
What?
OMGPOP is like, yeah, you can have it. I don't need it. I got the rest of the map. I don't really care.
Barton basically has been completely cut off of the whole map. Like, he doesn't have anything.
He's effectively pretty much base pinned right now. He's lost his second M3 as well. All of the M3s are dead. He's got his 2 120mm mortars just pounding away, but it's just taking way too long. And as long as that Flamming River stays in the field, if he can't, you know, instantly polish off an entire squad with the 120mm mortars, even if he causes casualties to the infantry squads, they can just reinforce in the field from the half-track.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter.
He has to get, like, full kills on, you know, per shot. The entire squad has to go down every time a 120 drops on him. And that's not really that common.
It can happen if they're extremely clumped up, but you gotta get a real bullseye hit with the mortar for that to actually happen.
Yeah.
Guard squads in the building, getting torched.
Yeah. They're kind of screwed. He's gonna he does retreat. Ooh, shit. He's probably gonna lose that guy.
Oh, he seems to be doing fairly okay. He used some of the conscripts as meat shields, basically.
Yeah.
Trying to distract the other German forces.
And the Germans just recapturing. Although we do have a little incursion over here with combat engineers flanking the MG in the center.
But look at the HP of both of the combat engineers. Barton doesn't have healing in his base,
no.
so they're very, very low health. Just a few rifle crits from the car rifles of these grenadiers are going to be enough to kill them both off.
Yeah, and here comes the Flamming River.
That's going to seal the deal. Instant retreat from Barton. There was no way he could get around that. He does manage to decrew one of the MGs from OMGPOP, so only one remains, but that's actually all OMGPOP needs to keep this base pin in effect.
Yeah. Jeez.
That's a
Those
lot of,
mortars are violent.
yeah, that's a lot of indirect fire raining down on the German forces. But I don't think that OMGPOP really cares right now. He's like, yeah, you can do this all day. I'm just gonna keep reinforcing my grenadiers, just gonna keep reinforcing my support weapons when I can, and trying to reclaim them most likely, because you don't have any territory, Spartan. I don't care.
Yeah, and it's not really bleeding OMG enough at all. It's not doing enough damage.
Now OMGPOP has a bank of, you know, roughly 300 manpower. He's sitting on over 240 fuel with the tier 3 building up in his base. He's just waiting for the manpower to get something like a P4 on Ostwind on the field.
Yeah, that would probably seal this game.
Well, Barton doesn't have tier 2, no, that's a bunker. It looked like tier 2 building. The MG bunkers kind of look similar to the tier 2 buildings with the wooden logs on top of it. But yeah, there's no possibility of AT guns even or anything else. I'm guessing he's not really banking on a lot of fuel either.
Hell no, he's got 100 fuel, but that's not really gonna save him
enough.
from an Ostwind.
No. Wow. These 120mm mortars, however.
Yeah.
They're just going to town on all of the MGs. OMGPOP just constantly relocates them, but it's not enough because just a few seconds later, a few shells lands on their heads.
Yeah, and there's way too many MGs just at perfect range, being able to hold everything from Barton's base back every single time. Everything gets suppressed or pinned.
He's actually mining off some of the entrances to his base as well. I guess he is expecting some form of a vehicular attack on his base. Maybe he knows that OMGPOP has been sitting on the fuel for the entire match almost. So he knows that there's going to be, you know, there could even be tier 4 for all that he knows. You know, a broom bar or something would just rip everything to shreds because there's nothing to counter it.
Yeah.
It's going to be tier 3, but so far OMGPOP is content with what it has. It's like, I got tons of infantry outside of the base. I have forward reinforcement from the half track. I got the scout car if you continue building M3s, for example, trying to break out of this pin. So I don't really need this Ostwind or P4. I don't actually need it.
Yeah. But it would definitely seal the game if he had an Ostwind. He could just pick up infantry on the left, on the right, and let it sort of sit by itself and be a little bit more micro-intensive on his infantry.
Yeah, it's going to be a good damage sponge as well, because Barton is going to have to deal with it somehow. The only thing he has right now is 18-aids and PTRS rifles, or PTRS rifle. I think there's only one on that squad. No, there's two. Oh, Barton has two guard squads. That's why there's a PTRS rifle outside of that building on the left-hand side at the DP.
Yeah, I pulled another one a little while ago and sent it over to the right, and then I had to retreat it. And geez, oh my god, that was a good rifle grenade. On the left, he's trying to hold on to the BP, but everything there is dead.
As long as you're not triple capped in VPs, the bleed is fairly slow actually, so I guess he's buying time for something, but without any sectors on the map, what's he buying time for? He's not really gaining any fuel or munitions right now.
Not enough to really, you know, turn the tide within any reasonable amount of time, no.
There's the Ostwind now out from OMGPOP. This is going to be the nail in the coffin, I believe. There's nothing that Barton has that can effectively combat that Ostwind. It's going to kill the guards easily. It's going to kill all the conscripts. No 18-8s are going to be able to be thrown on it as long as it's properly microed from OMGPOP. And from what we have seen so far, he has no problem microing his vehicles.
Not at all, and Barton's only got enough munitions for one anti-tank grenade, so not really going to be that much of a threat.
Oh, he can't even afford something like, you know, a combination of a button and then move in with his conscripts to throw an 18-8?
No.
No. Okay, so yeah, this Ostwind is going to have a fun time, I believe. It's going to have a huge window of opportunity right now to basically kill everything in Barton's army.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's just going to fight off all these little incursions over here. Although Barton's doing a pretty good job of G's.
That was a brutal rifle
grenade. Yeah.
As a combat in your squad, I believe, with a flamethrower went down completely. 3 men to 1 rifle nade.
Yeah. They're all dead. And the Grenadiers have G43s, it looks like.
Yep. We actually had that Soviet mine was detonated by one of the shots from the Ostwind's main gun, trying to pursue one of the retreating guard squads back into Barton's base. He got a lucky hit on the mine and detonated that. Otherwise, he most likely would have ran over it, but yeah.
Wow. Yeah, this is pretty stomped at this point. That's pretty much going to be a GG.
Yeah, he's triple capped as well, so Barton is bleeding fast now all of a sudden. He's down to 210 DPs remaining, and it's many minutes for him to drain all the way down to 0. He can't leave his base. There's tons of units on the left-hand side. There's an Ostwind on the right-hand side. It's just over.
Yeah, the Ostwind just drilled the flaming engineer, and it set a bunch of dudes on fire, and that's it.
Yeah, Barton throws in the towel. There was not much else to do in that situation. He was completely base pinned from maybe, I can't remember exactly, but somewhere around the 5-6 minute mark or something like that. After that, he couldn't leave his base without taking major casualties, and that basically sealed the deal for OMGPOP. And rolling out an Ostwind, just to really drive it into Barton's face. Like, this is my game. I'm gonna take game 1.
Yeah. That's pretty much what happened.
Nicely played from OMGPOP. Let's see if he can repeat his success with Soviets against Barton's Axis. I'm expecting to see loads and loads of Grens and a forward medic bunker, which we saw yesterday on the RMP livestream.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sort of looking forward to see what Barton decides to do in the, in retaliation.
He needs to win this game, otherwise he's out. So stay tuned, folks. We're coming up with game 2 of the semifinals between OMGPOP and Barton. We'll be right back.